Alright man, so the Cold Steel Trailhawk versus the Cold Steel Rifleman, or the Rifleman from Cold Steel. Now, we don't do product reviews here, we're not qualified to do product reviews. I'm not going to go out and beat these things enough to do them any harm, we know this. But I really like tomahawks. I mean, I really like tomahawks. They're like all sorts of stuff to me. This is mine that I've had for a while and we've talked about before. I got this one, I've got a son who just turned 8, and so this is his birthday present. And his birthday is tomorrow, which will probably be past by the time you guys see this, so I'm not going to have it to him on time. But Cold Steel is infamous for the fit on their handles, and this one's worse than normal. I don't know if you can see that wiggling, but it's really, really loose, and there's all this. Can you see all that extra wood pushed up there? They don't have a good tight fit on this, and they don't ever have them on any of theirs. This is the worst I've ever seen though. They put this little set screw in the side to pretend like it's secured, but that set screw is terrible, because what happens is you've got all that wiggle in play and that terrible fit, and you start chopping something with it, and it moves, and that set screw just turns into like a little blade that cuts up your handle. So I've got it. Look at that. Look at how poorly that's fitted there. Is that showing?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to clean that up for him, and I don't think I'm going to sharpen it for him. But the whole point of maybe not the whole point, but the big advantage of a tomahawk is this handle coming off like that. You know, if you break your handle, you can literally use your head to make another one. In fact, I'll do a lot of the cleaning up on this one with the other tomahawk. Make another handle in 30 minutes, you know. And if you want an even better handle than that, then you use your new, your bad first handle. Take another 30 minutes to make it an even better handle. That's the great advantage of tomahawks. They disassemble. They're so simple. They can come apart. You can use this as a knife in all sorts of ways, even as a little bit of a chisel. I mean, it's really useful. The handle's really replaceable. They're simple, they're portable, they're light. But I will give you a few impressions of one versus the other. I'll say this. This one is massive. This is like over a 2-pound head. I forgot to check how heavy this one is, but it's incredibly light. I mean, it doesn't feel like you're holding anything really compared to this one. So, I mean, here's the deal. If I'm just carrying a tomahawk, I want this one. If I'm working, I want this one. So the question becomes, pack light, freeze at night, It works both ways. It's a warning, pack light, freeze at night. It's also a cry of pride, pack light, freeze at night. I'm going to pack light and freeze at night. So I am generally not an advocate of packing light and freezing at night. I usually say if something's worth carrying, it's probably worth having the weight. So I love my Rifleman. I have to admit, it is very, very tempting. This would be so much easier to carry on your gear, especially if you're not really planning to have to do a lot of, if you don't think you're going to really need to do any serious work. This is a serious tool. And I've talked about this on other videos. I've chopped down full-size trees with this in minutes. I've timed an 8-inch. I can't remember the size of the pine tree we cut, but we chopped down an 8-inch pine tree with the full-size double bit axe, and it took minutes, not even a minute. It was like less than 2 minutes. I've done the same thing with this, and it didn't take much longer. Now there's a disadvantage to that. And I don't know if this video will cover. We'll just cover it. It's the handle is the problem. It's narrow, and your hand wants to slip off, so you get hand fatigue really quick with these handles. Whereas with an axe handle, where it's got a knob at the end or a curve, it helps hold on a lot better, and you're not squeezing all the time trying to hold on to that 2.5 pounds of metal. At the end of a 22-inch handle, your hand starts wearing out quick. That's why the big axe is better for full day work. And that may be why this one would be better too. It's a little bit less weight, but but you're never going to be able to do the work with this that you'd be able to do with that. But you know what? If you didn't need the work, I don't know. I mean, why carry the extra weight? I'm gonna clean this up hopefully tonight and tomorrow. I'm gonna spend some time working on it, and I will show it to you when we're done. And this is how useful tomahawks are. You can take the head off. I may have to sharpen this. You can take the head off and use it to work on its own handle. Oh, well, I've got that one on there really good. This one is fit just perfect. I spent I wouldn't even say days. I mean, like, I would just take it apart occasionally and work on it until it was really, there we go, really well fit. Wow. I didn't fit this part of the handle. I only fit the part hat. Maybe it's swelled up for some humidity or something. Anyway, this always happens when you're on camera. Sorry, son. So maybe it doesn't come off that easy. Oh! You guys really like the fail videos, so there's another one for you. You can all get a good laugh. But I could probably shape this entire handle and get all the friction lock I need with the tomahawk itself. That's pretty cool. That's pretty useful. Now I will, since I'm giving this to the boy, I will take the rasp and the file to it and I'll sandpaper it down and I'll get all Wrangler star on it. Interestingly enough, well, I won't. Oh, look, that was almost all that one needed. Well, no, it needs a little bit more. But that fixed a lot of it. And we'll make it all pretty. I don't know if I'm going to chop with it. It is his birthday present. He lives in Pennsylvania. He doesn't live with us, unfortunately. The wages have sent his death. But I'd kind of want him to be the first one to chop with it. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. He lives in a subdivision, so I don't even know how much opportunity he has to chop with it. But he's a Cub Scout, so maybe he'll get to use it on a camping trip. Oh, look at that. That's almost. You could work with that. That's kind of what you're looking for. I might not even mess with that a whole lot more, except just to clean it up. Yeah, I'll clean it up a little bit more. But I don't think I'm going to put the set screw back in, because the set screw just does harm. I'll thread it in a little way and think about it. But there you go. I'll show you this. The next clip will show you with it finished, and maybe we'll mess with it a little bit more. Okay, so I got the handle redone. There's lots of videos out there about that, and I'm not the best one to show you, so I wasn't going to show how I did it. Although you saw most of how I did it. Most of it I did with the head of the other tomahawk. I just chiseled it. After that, I cleaned it up. I brought down whatever this thing is. I don't know, it's useful. I brought down the rasp, but really all I used was the sandpaper. God bless sandpaper, another one of those modern conveniences none of us appreciate. And that's all it took. I got a real solid fit in about 2 minutes. Really, probably total 2 minutes, and then I used the sandpaper and cleaned the handle up from when I machined it. Poor boy's handle was done up before I ever got it to him. So I took the set screw out, which you're supposed to anyway, but I've always wondered if you did have the really good solid fit, like I've got on this one now, would the set screw be a problem? You know, it would just be one more thing, right, because there wouldn't be friction against it. But I noticed the hole is offset enough to where if you try to put the set screw back in, it would just force the head back down into the hole where the set screw was. And so I just took it out, and I think I threw it away. I don't know where it's at now. But there we go. We got a good fit on it. We're going to get this in the mail hopefully tomorrow, but if I know us, it might be Monday before it goes out. I had a few more thoughts about it I meant to talk about. I love these hammers, poles. The pole being the back, and you got the hammer for, I guess in this case, driving tent stakes. The other thing occurred to me that if all you were interested in was primarily this is like some sort of offensive or defensive weapon, this is probably a better choice than this. This is much lighter and would be much faster. This thing is just a beast, and I'm sure this would probably, if you were only interested in a weapon, this would probably be the better choice. This is the better tool. The other thing is, I don't think it needs this big old long handle. I must have cut myself. I did. I cut myself. I'm getting blood all over his handle. Yikes. It just doesn't need that 22-inch long handle. It's not heavy enough. You know, you could easily cut that handle down 6 or 8 inches, and it would probably be more appropriate. But I really like it. It was $20 delivered to Amazon. I've got a buddy who sells these, but unfortunately, Amazon really treats its wholesalers poorly and doesn't give them good prices. And if he's watching this, I apologize. I got this one through him, but I just didn't have the cash. I had to get the cheaper one. So that's bad on you, Cold Steel, for treating your sellers that way. They give much better prices to other folks who then sell them online, and the distributor guys can't compete, and that's a shame. Anyway, there you go. Kind of cool. I would like to have one for myself just because of the size. If I had one, it's probably what I would put on my Minuteman loadout as opposed to this one. I think. I don't know. That heft is just amazing. You know, it just does great work, and you know, there's a lot of times I could imagine you would rather have that weight rather than the portability. That's an interesting topic for a different video, but there you go. That's the Cold Steel Trailhawk versus the Cold Steel The Rifleman. It's not versus, but we appreciate you, man. Thank you. Hey, sorry, I forgot something I wanted to say. Let's show it real quick. I wanted to just sort of show the contrast between this. This is my Swiss military surplus hatchet, which we have a short video about way back in the day. Which when I got it, I was really excited about. I really liked it, and it's a decent hatchet. I wanted to contrast that to. I need one more hand. To these tomahawks. Now, I haven't sat down with this hatchet and just gone head to head against the tomahawk, but I have cut down trees with this hatchet, and I've cut down trees with this tomahawk, and it is a world of different. Even though the head is like the same weight, it's like a 2-pound head, and this is like a 2.2-pound head, if I remember correctly. Oh, I meant to look up the weight on the Trailhawk. Oh well, we won't do a fourth follow-up clip, but this is a great weapon. This is a useful little tool, but it's nothing compared to this. I mean, these can do things that this hatchet never even dreamed of. Now I will say this is much better for splitting. If you have cut wood and you're splitting it end to end, yes, this would do much better. However, how often would that be the case? You know, if you were actually using this for, you know, either in your Minuteman role or God forbid a survival situation or something, you're not going to have nice little, you know, sawed off ends of firewood to split with your hatchet, and this would be the much more useful tool. And even I haven't tried to chop a tree with this. I don't think it would do all that great, but I don't think it'd be that bad. I don't know how it would compare to this. You know, you've got the extra leverage on that handle, but it's really hard to overcome weight and just blade size. You know, it just takes a bigger bite. So I don't know that this Trailhawk would compare to a regular hatchet as far as a tool goes. But now, obviously, for your Patriot fantasies, Mel Gibson, the Patriot fantasies, this is a much better option than this. But that's what I really like about this Rifleman. Look at that. That cutting edge is actually bigger. Well, it's a little bigger. It's not much, but it's bigger. The head weighs just as much, and it cuts way better on a downstroke or a horizontal stroke. It cuts way better. Doesn't split anywhere near as well. But I think this is by far a much more useful thing than a hatchet. And I would probably say it's even, I've never got to use a nice little forest axe. You know, the old Wrangler Star $300 boy's axe. I can't imagine that it's going to be any different than a $35 axe on the swing. I mean, it might be better. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So I can't compare this to a really good high quality forest axe. But it sure, you know what? That head looks like it's hung upside down, doesn't it? Look at that. The beard looks like it's coming up. That'd be interesting to know. So there you go. I love the tomahawks. There's why. I really like this little Trailhawk. I'd like to have one. I may buy myself one at some point, but I'm out of presents for a while anyway. I bought myself some cordless tools for my birthday and Father's Day, so I'm officially tapped out in the present department. I'm sorry, there we go, man. We appreciate you. Thank you.